Hey, Shalom, the friends. Wonderful to be with you today. I'm close to the fire because we had some snow last night and sometime during the day, and it was beautiful. But now it's raining, so it's going slowly down. But what a joy to have the snow! It's like children love it, but I still love it too. It's just wonderful. And it brings such joy in our soul. I'm sure there is something behind. Sheleg in Hebrew. Okay? So today I wanted to bring you a bit of some news. We've done a very good program with Martin today, this morning, and you can watch it. We say already a lot of things on it. One of the things that people are not saying right now, the coronavirus is going down sharply in the world, okay? And I think more and more that is being used by the government to bring their own agenda about the vaccine. And here they are getting crazy. You have to have the vaccine. If you don't have the vaccine, you won't be able to go into certain malls. You won't be able to do certain activities. The teachers who don't want to be vaccinated are not allowed to go to school, but they will have to do it from home. I mean, it's like crazy, okay? When you think what's happening, I know the corona is bad, but like, it's not as bad as what they are making it. But they are really pushing the vaccine. And this morning I heard that Bill Gates say, oh, you know what? Because of the variants, you might need to have a third vaccine. Okay. I was watching also something very disturbing today. Some people that don't have right now some like secondary effects when they have the vaccine, but some had. And I saw a nurse and I saw some other people, they have the malady. I think it's, I don't want to say because I can't remember the name. But it's like they are moving like that all the time. It's touching, it's just attacking their nervous system. And one of the lady was saying, this was in America, they didn't want to, a neurologist didn't want to see her. And another one, like we're in February, it will be like end of March. And she's a nurse. Anyway, there is a lot of things going on. Yes, I know. This is my doggy. And, okay, so this is interesting to see all these things. And here in Israel is being also, some people was asking me, they really push the vaccine. And now America is saying how wonderful is Israel about the vaccine and what they are doing for the people and all these kind of things. Very scary because it's not just that. It's like all the things with behind. The government really want to control things. Because of the corona, a lot of laws have been passed to take some of our freedom. And it's not going to go back. And you can see people, looking and more what you are doing. Facebook again news of today. Australia wasn't happy at all because Facebook is closing some all the news who are coming from Australia. And Australia is not happy because, they have a lot of wildfires and different things, and people are connecting a lot by Facebook. And so it's like, thumb down. Now, you have to remember that we are going into the last redemption. This is very important to understand. We are going into the last redemption. The first redemption was the Jewish people when they went out of Egypt, okay? And then you can see, and so how you see it is like everybody have trouble. There is a plagues, and after there is plagues more on the Egyptian and not on the Jewish people, and then they are free, and then they receive the Torah, okay? Because the main goal was for them to receive the Torah and to be free and to go after into the country to be a light to the nations. And so this was the first one, okay? And then you can see also one when it was the Holocaust. You can see that the Jewish people were targeted. Obviously, they've been targeted many times for 2,000 years, okay? But the Holocaust, like 6 million at least, roughly, that we say usually the number, 1.5 children. And this was on the path to the redemption of the land of Israel, where the Jewish people could come back into the land and be there, that they haven't been for 2,000 years. Okay, so it was very targeted on the Jewish people. But now we are coming into the final redemption, which is the redemption for all the world. Okay, so it won't be just the Jewish people who will be targeted, but it will be all humanity, because it's the redemption of humanity now, which is a very big thing, okay? So what you see is like when you see, so you could see the yellow star for the Jewish people, and slowly, the control was getting stronger, and they were less and less able to do things. And after they were put in camps and killed, and all of that. But some were rebels. But this is what was happening. This was for the redemption of Israel. Okay. And now, so you have to understand that what's happening in Israel, because very often as Christian Zionists, we think that everything is amazing here and all of that. But now, with the corona, we can see a change very quick. Since the vaccine, yes, Israel wants to be on the top of all of what's happening, but they are very much on the top of globalization too. And now here, what's happening, we're having to have a green passport. And this week, I watched a video, and it was about somebody who wanted to go into a mall to do some shopping, and canyon, as they say here. And he wasn't allowed because he wasn't vaccinated, and he didn't have a paper to show that he was vaccinated, and he wasn't allowed. And it was very scary to see that, because all the people were saying to him, no, you can't, and this and that. They had the green badge of they were vaccinated. And for me, it was like so straight, like the yellow badge, and now, the yellow star, and now the green badge. And this was like so terrible to see that. And we have to understand, because very often we think that, it won't come from Israel. But Israel wants to be on the top of the globalization, and it's happening here in front of our eyes, okay? So I just wanted to say that to you, that we are totally now in the final redemption. We are walking towards something wonderful, and that the Torah will be the more amazing tool for the world, for humanity, for wisdom, for understanding things, to find secret of how God has done the thing, and not only that, Messiah will be with us. So, and you say Torah will come from Zion, Isaiah 2. So this is all part of all these things, okay? Which is interesting, because this week I had a dream. I don't dream very often right now, but in my dream, I could see the Torah like a big cube, and it's like you could read it in a lot of different ways, like multi-dimension. I heard already about that before, but now like I could see it with my eyes. And in my consciousness, it was like, wow, it's like how we were reading it before, it was like one line and try to understand it. But now it's like, no, it's like a all, it's like a cube. So it's like different dimension, and it reminds me, I was speaking to one of my friends, and I was saying to her, hey, you know, when I speak to you, it reminds me the picture that God gave me many, many, many years ago when I was still young, in my about 20, something like that, around 40 years. And God was saying to me very clearly, can you see this house? And it's like I could see the front of the house. He said, this is like my word, but you have to come into, because there is so much to study and so much to understand. And suddenly, like the dream that I had was exactly about that it was like, it was 4 dimension. It wasn't just 1 dimension. Like the front of the house would be 1 dimension. And he said, no, you come inside because there is different rooms and you learn different things in these different places. And so it's parallel, it's exactly parallel. And I think I wrote something, I was just looking in my diary. Wait, how we have been able to okay, that's it, that Torah. Okay, oh, I speak exactly, sorry, I just speak exactly about that dream, about the Torah being like a cube, and you can read it in different levels, direction. It contains all the truth and the wisdom. How we have been able to read it was beautiful, but very limited. And during the millennium, we will be able to study it, and it will be like honey for our soul. And it's the wisdom for the world. We will never ever read it in only 1 dimension. Okay? So this is the goal. This is where we are going. Okay? And this is just wonderful. We are going to have some amazing time. But before that, we are passing the plagues. We are passing this time of being released for freedom. And also something, it's like every day we are here because we're in the land. There is more revelation given in the land because it's his land, because there is a holiness in this land. The Holy Land is how it is how God shows it. We are very close to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the holy place, is where Zion is coming, is where the Torah is coming out, and it's like he has to come from one place, okay? And so God so very kindly brought us here, and we can really feel more revelation, and because we can focus also more here. When we were in England, we receive things, but now that we are here, we really want to give you all the things that we receive, because it's very important. And it's like we are searching our heart, and we're searching him to know where we are going as humanity. Okay? And this morning I was just reading one psalm, because right now I'm reading the psalms every day with Martin. We do it together, and I do it also by myself, and praying for certain things. And when I was praying this psalm today, suddenly, when you are in God's presence, there is things that he shows you, and because I try to understand what's happening, and there is teaching that we know already, like 2/3 of the world will be destroyed, and it's like, ouch, no, what, really? And with what's happening now, God was, it's like I had a thought in my mind saying, yeah, with this vaccine, with all the things that they are doing, this is experimental right now, okay? And this is just the beginning. Like Bill Gates today saying, oh, you need to have 3. And I read something of people who were saying, watch out for what's happening. They were saying, you will see, they will say more and more, we need to have another vaccine, and you need to have another vaccine. And so it makes havoc in your body. And I don't know, I'm just telling you that when I was reading the psalm today, suddenly I was like, yeah, this is part of 2/3 will die. Now, we know that death is not, obviously is bad, but death is just an entrance from your earthly life to your heavenly life. Okay, so you don't die because you are eternal. You have a soul and your soul is eternal. So your body die, okay, but you don't die, which is, again, what is said is like, you can kill my body, but I will still praise God and I will still declare his glory. Nobody can take the soul of anybody. It's like God has given us souls and is how it is. Nobody can take these things. They can just only take our body, which was what was happening also with Pharaoh. Now, something that we don't know very often as Christians, when the Hebrews left Egypt, a lot of them stayed over there. They know that in the writings and in the tradition, that they passed down generation to generation. So this is interesting to know that, there was a lot of people and a lot of Jewish people also who die. And they have also a teaching about saying that when there was the darkness, one of the plague was the darkness. It's like there was saying that God was permitted to happen to the Jewish people. Some were dying, but he didn't want the world to know what was happening. And so he's the God of justice. And again, today I was reading a psalm, and it was 92, I think, or 93, and it's like a psalm who are speaking about the coming of the millennium, and it's written, God of vengeance, God of vengeance. And I was like, wow. And I'm like, yes, we are coming in a time now where God is the God of vengeance for all the Rashaim, the bad ones, the one who's doing bad things. He said, now your time is going to be up. When they will have the millennium, we won't have any evil things anymore that will happen. So we are coming really every day are so important. And something that I was learning also, because a lot of people are always thinking about Gog and Magog and how is it going to happen and what is it exactly. And the Jewish people are the same. They have a lot of ideas, but they don't always know. Hey, Nabu, be careful. Nabu, don't burn yourself. And so one friend was telling me Gog and Magog. It comes also from the name Gigim, if I remember. Let me look to make sure. Yeah, Gigim, which is thoughts and consciousness. So this is very interesting because it's like the battle is in our thoughts right now, isn't it? And so the battle is in the media. You can see there is so much sheker. Sheker is the opposite of truth. Emet is deceit, is lies. And so many you can feel in your spirit. And when we speak with people know. Like somebody today was saying to us on the YouTube, don't listen to the media. Yeah, but we are in the media. We still have to do our work one way or another. And yes, he is right, and we need to discern what's happening. And there is a lot of things that are happening. Okay, this is all where we are going. But I wanted to give you a very kind of short, because I see it's already 19 minutes, a very short teaching, and then maybe next time I will read my notes again much more, and we'll go more deeper into it. But I just want to give you a few thoughts for you to start to assimilate the things. Okay, you know how much I love Zephaniah 3:9, which is that God will give us again the Hebrew language, a pure language, to serve Him and to be shoulder to shoulder. Okay, and so we will be echad. Sorry, yeah, we will be echad at the end. And is one shoulder. The translation, the literal translation in Hebrew. So, and we say also in Zechariah, Zechariah 14, we say also in Zechariah 14, Nabu, quiet, okay. Put his lid on, Mart, please. And in Zechariah 14 is that God will be one, okay? And this is the game of the end of the game, that God will be one and we will be one with him, okay? This is the main thing. So there is the teaching, which is so beautiful, and I will go just in just few minutes with it, with you, and is when in Genesis you have God. He created the heaven and the earth, okay, and so he prepared a place, and so is the first day, and the first day is called Yom Echad. Now, when we say the first day, now in Hebrew we say Yom Rishon, the first day. But in the Bible is written Yom Echad, the day one. Why? Because there was only God at that time, okay? And so there was unity. He was there. Then you have, so this is Yom Echad. So Yom Echad, it means that God has prepared time for us because he is eternal. So he's preparing something for us and he takes the time to create it. So first he creates the time, which is very interesting because the first commandment that God gave them, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. The first commandment that God gave to the Jewish people to go out of Egypt is Rosh Chodesh, to keep and celebrate the first month. Why? Is again to celebrate time. Because when you're a slave, you don't have time. Time belongs to your master. But when you are free, time is in your hands again. So, isn't it? Is like parallel. We are saying we are parallel. We are passing all these plagues. We are going into the final redemptions. We are going through the same principle that the Jewish people have been going out of Egypt. So, first time, okay? Then you have written a bit further down, that God, there was Makom Echad, okay? Makom is the place, and God prepared a place. I will dig into the teaching a bit more next time to give you all the references and all of that, but this to give you roughly. So he prepared the time, he prepared a place, Makom Echad, okay? Which is very interesting because also the temple sometimes is called Makom, Makom, his place. And when you speak about this is my place, I will say Makom Sheli, Ze Makom Sheli, this is my place, okay? Then he has the time, he has the place, and now what does he do? He prepared the people. So you have Adam, and Adam is male and female, and after he said like Basar Echad. So he makes them one again. They were together, God separate them, and after Adam and Eve marry together and they are one again. So it's like Basar Echad. So he's making our body to be one, and so there is a unity that God likes, okay? Unity is not being uniform, okay? Unity is like everybody can be who they are totally. They don't need to be uniform, which is exactly the opposite. When you see the Holocaust, people weren't anymore people. They were like a thing. They were a number. They were a number. And speak to people who were in the Holocaust. For them, it was terrible. They didn't have a name anymore. They were just a number. Can you believe that you call your children number 77, come here to eat all the time? You see how your name is so important? Okay, so he prepared the time, he prepared a place, he prepared the people, okay? And is what he's speaking, that God will be one and we will be one with him. And the fourth one, which is amazing, is in Zephaniah 3:9, and is like Shechem Echad, one shoulder. So it means like he put like, he's a good dog. He wants to keep us safe. And so is Shechem Echad, and Shechem Echad means he wants a community, he wants the people to be together. And this is what will be the millennium. When the people, the Hebrew people, first of all, they were a family, then they were tribes, then they were a nation. And this is what God is going to do during the final redemption. We will be a big family together, all the countries together, all the nations together. We will be one and will come and worship him. Isn't it amazing? Nabu, are you looking after me? This is very kind of you. Come here. Come. Say hi. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you today, and I will carry on next week. We will go a bit deeper in this teaching, because it's like giving us a light to know where we are going, and God knows exactly what he's doing. He's the master. Despite all the things that's happening, we need to keep hope, and he's going to do something beautiful. Yes, isn't it, Nabu? And look, we even had some snow this week. This is very nice. So from me and from Nabu, we say bye and see you next week.